Everybody, and welcome back to the Bussey Banter. It's been a few days. I apologize. I've been very busy with school. I do have a new sweater, Bussey Banter. So if you're interested in getting one, just let me know. Message me, shoot me on Instagram, Jacob Bussey, or the Bussey Banter. But I just want to get into some of the Leaf games that we missed on this show because I think that, I'm trying to keep it as consistent as possible, and it's been pretty tough so far because of school and it's busy and it's hard to kind of find somewhere to get my YouTube videos in, but I'm doing my best and just continuing to put them out whenever I can. So there's a few games that we missed here. We have the Sharks Maple Leafs, Penguins Maple Leafs, Hurricanes Maple Leafs, and the game last night, which was Chicago and the Maple Leafs. So let's go back. The last video we talked about where the Rangers win in 2-1 overtime against the Leafs, and then the Leafs decided for 3 games in a row they didn't want to play. So let's talk about that. So the Sharks versus the Maple Leafs. So Leafs were back at home after their loss to the Rangers a few nights before, and they were going up against Aiden Hill in net and Eric Carlson and Brent Burns. And I thought it was a good game overall by Toronto. I just wish that Eric Carlson and Brent Burns didn't get a point. Carlson scored, and he said it earlier this season that he still thinks he's one of the best. And you can make the argument that if he's healthy, yes, he is, but he's not healthy half the time, so it's not good enough. But the Sharks just bested the Leafs. There were just so many shots on net. Campbell couldn't stop them all, and that's just how the game goes. Sometimes you're gonna win, sometimes you're gonna lose, sometimes the Leafs had a lot of chances. They scored 3 goals. It's just their defense needed to solidify. And I'm gonna talk about defense throughout this video at least because it's been a reoccurring theme, to say the least, of its inconsistency. So a few days later, so that game was on Friday, the day after Saturday. So Hutcherson got the start on Friday because Toronto flew to Pittsburgh to play the Penguins, and you want the better goalie in for the second half. And the Leafs are infamously known for being terrible in the second half of a doubleheader. So, or back to back, to say the least. And so this was Campbell's, time, and he's got a lot of weight on his shoulders trying to be the starter this year with Mrazek out. So they go into Pittsburgh and they lose 7-1. So, not the game the Leafs wanted for sure. 7-1 to the Penguins, basically AHL team, is not good at all. Campbell was disappointing. Hutchinson wasn't better. The freaking offense disappeared. I believe Spezza was the only person who had a goal. And I think I don't know about Nylander because he scored last night. I think either Spezza or Nylander are the leading goal scorers. To have a veteran like that, almost like 35, 38 years old, veteran on that team, leading this core of Leafs in goals is not good. It's not great. It's not ideal. It goes to show that putting a $750,000 guy, I said you should have put him on the first line, but obviously that's not very realistic considering he can't keep up with Matthews and Nylander, which I will talk about the line combinations after. So they switch. So Keefe is like, this isn't working. Whatever's working, this Matthews Marner, Bunting, or Matthews Marner, Ritchie is not working. So he switches it up for the game against Carolina against our former goaltender, Frederick Anderson, who, don't get me wrong, has been unbelievable this year. He's undefeated so far with like a 169 goals against average and a 950 save percentage. So he's playing freaking ridiculous. So anyways, he switches the lines up. He puts Nylander, Bunting, and Matthews. And I have been saying over and over again that Michael Bunting deserves a chance on that first line. He's been playing great. So then the second line was Kerfoot, Tavares, and Marner. So that's the curve. The Tavares and Marner were actually the original plan as why Tavares kind of wanted to come here. So it was very interesting to watch them play on that line. They lost 4-1, so they didn't do anything. The one shining spot of that was Matthews scored finally in his return to the season. He got his 200th, and he was the second fastest Leaf to do so in history, in franchise history at least. So it's promising. There's no doubt that Matthews is one of the best players on that team. There's no doubt, if not the best. And now it's just a matter of getting the ball rolling and continuing to play like that because the Leafs are not winning these games. They're only scoring maximum 3 goals they only scored a maximum of 3 goals in this 4-game span. Now, So they lose that one 4-1. Frederick Anderson was unreal that game. Like he was unreal. If he's healthy, I said if he's healthy, he's phenomenal. But with the Toronto, he wasn't healthy. He was inconsistent. He was getting 60 shots a night. Not good enough. So it's good to see that he's actually succeeding in an environment that cares for the goaltending and however they play. So, anyways, let's skip to last night. Now, there's a lot of controversy along this whole Chicago Blackhawks problem. And this goes back to 2010 when they won the Stanley Cup, where a player who was originally named John Doe for the safety came out as Kyle Beach. Now, Kyle Beach was a 20-year-old on that Blackhawks team who was sexually assaulted by one of the personnel of that team. And a lot of that head personnel team knew the general manager, Stan Bowman, he's out because he's resigned. The senior vice president of hockey operations, Isaac, I think it was, he's gone. Joel Quenneville, head coach of that team, he has a meeting with Bettman today, and the GM of the Jets, Chevel Dayoff, I think that was his name. He's got a meeting with Bettman too. Kudos to Kyle Beach for coming out and talking about this, because this is incredibly tough to talk about. This is not a light topic. Sexual assault in any sport, and sexual assault at all, is a very, very heavy topic to come out and publicly talk about. So kudos to him. It takes a lot of guts, a lot of courage. So I have nothing but respect for him. Now the Leafs are coming into this game into Chicago on a 3-game losing skid. Chicago has yet to win a game. They haven't won one game. They've got 1 overtime loss and 5 regular losses. All the hockey world united with Toronto, to say the least. Now there's a lot of people that hate Toronto, but what's going on with Chicago is a justifiable reason. Now, I'm not saying the hate Toronto is not because, Canada's team and they get a lot of publicity by Sportsnet, and I can understand that. But this was something bigger than a game. Now, they didn't get off the way the Leafs started. Kirby Dach scored on I believe it was a power play. It was a 2-on-1 or something, but he scored to get the Hawks up 1-0. And I'm like, this isn't terrible. We can always come back. And then later in the frame, DeBrincat gets a breakaway. Terrible. Oh, just god-awful line change by the defense. And the defense they've just been terrible. Not terrible. Brody and Riley have been consistently good. Hall and Muzzin have been consistently bad. Hall has been not good this season. Muzzin, I think, is getting dragged down because of Hall's play. I think a lot of people are questioning Dubas as to why he's selected and saved Hall. And, it takes a lot of time to develop a defenseman. And I agree with him because Riley didn't happen overnight. It took him a few years. So I guess I'll give Hall the benefit of the doubt, but he's really got to figure it out with Muzzin on that line. So terrible line change. Alex DeBrincat, the cat, gets a breakaway, and he goes 5-hole on Campbell. 2-0. Now we jump all the way to the third because Toronto decided not to get anything done. I don't believe, let me just check this for you guys real quick. I don't want to give you the wrong information. I don't think they scored in the second. I think it was, it was the second. So midway through the second, Leafs are on the attack. It looks like kind of a broken play. Marner gets it over to Tavares in the slot. Tavares takes it to the backhand and roofs it over Kevin Lankinen. And when I say roof, I mean roofed it. He got Kevin Lankinen to go down to a knee, thinking he's going to go to his strong hand, his forehand, and he roofs it top shelf. And Marner's first point in however many games it's got to feel good for that young man who's had a lot of criticism this year, especially with that contract. A lot of people are saying if he doesn't do anything, if they don't make the playoffs even this year, that conversation is being thrown out there, although I think it's a little premature to be talking about that, then they trade him. So it'll be interesting to see if he's able to get it done. So anyways, it goes into the third period, 2-1 for Chicago. Leafs just need 1 goal. That's all they need. So with 7.5 minutes to go, just under 8 minutes to go, the puck kind of gets lodged around in the slot for a bit, and former Blackhawk David Collin, he gets it on the backhand, and he gets it past Lankinen. Now, I thought it shouldn't have gone in because I thought Lankinen should have had it, but he didn't see it till last second. It was a weird kind of fluttery backhand where Kampf just got it off his stick as fast as he could, and Leafs got it tied 2-2, and this game went all the way to overtime. It was a very fun overtime for as short of how short it was. Matthews had a great opportunity. Marner had a golden opportunity where like he shot the puck and it just got through Lankinen and it was like trickling to the net and one of the defenders, I think it was Seth Jones, just got it away. And I'm like, oh my god, come on! Like Marner is so snake bitten, it's ridiculous. So then, anyways, later on the puck goes down and Seth Jones finds himself open and I'm like, oh no, this is it. Leafs aren't getting this extra point. Shoots it. Campbell gets a blocker on it, goes into the corner. And now, once that happens, there's a few things that happen. So Campbell hits it to the corner. Matthews goes to get the puck. Nylander gets away from his man up the slot. So now the puck takes a very fortuitous bounce, hits off the end boards, starts coming around towards the offensive, the neutral zone. Matthews gets to it. Nylander, he's got a breakaway. He's starting to get away from his man. Matthews gives it to him. Nylander one-on-one with Lankinen, and he buries it 5-hole. The Leafs win 3-2. That was a very stressful game. Campbell got an assist on that goal because he touched it, then Matthews passed it, and then he went in. But when I say it was very stressful, it was very stressful because Chicago had a lot to kind of get off their chest. They wanted to win. They wanted to win. And they didn't. And Toronto needed to win. So the Leafs finally end that 3-game losing streak with a 3-2 win in overtime. And Nylander has been very good this year. I think Nylander has been the best player so far this year. And that's it. They're back in town to take on Detroit Saturday for Hockey Night in Canada. And Detroit coming off a very, very nice comeback win themselves against Capitals. The Capitals. They beat the Capitals last night 3-2 in overtime. So very similar to the Leafs. Dylan Larkin scored that overtime goal. So it's good to see that, Detroit's actually doing somewhat well. Yzerman has had a plan, and maybe he's going to work out there. So anyways, I will try to get it uploaded on Saturday. I won't be in town Saturday, so I'll have to let you know. I may not be able to watch the game. So until then, take care, stay safe, and thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Bussey Banter.